Oh no. Well, welcome back to the world of Riven. We are now got back exited the majority. The people mentioned Cathrine. So we got to find out who they are, how they know Cathrine, and how in the world did they get into that book. Oh. So let's leave this prison and try to answer these questions that we've asked ourselves. Ah, no zipline. Let's go down the elevators. They got the ride here. This long tunnel. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. Well, not really a secret tunnel because it's not secret. Good, easy to access it. And I stop. Okay, so let's. Please deposit 5 cents. Don't you even have any cash? I mean, I don't think you would, because you're in a world where. Do they even have currency here? Weird question when you're here, but, you know. Let's go back to Ghen's lab and get access to, you know, his book again, where he has these 5 set of numbers right here, and they're about to become very useful right about now. But we've gotta mess with this world a little bit before we actually get there. Oh look, we're back at Temple Island in the gold domes. They're not really gold, they're just yellow. Because if it was really gold, was that actually writing on those? Oh well, didn't see. Let's sort of kind of not ourselves into a corner here. And everything's connected to everything. So Crater Island's connected to Temple Island, and you could find your way back to either island that you're traveling to, so you don't get where you can't get stuck. The only way you can get stuck is not knowing a puzzle. Luckily, they have a Mr. Journal walkthrough for that. I'll put a link in the description for that later. But yeah, we've got that set up. Open the door. Back to the rotating rooms. You know, these are like the main factor in this game. These rooms here. No, not really a main factor, but a main way to travel to different areas, locations. I mean, it's genius in and of itself. But it'd be rather tedious because you have to hit the button so many times. Alright. Yeah, well, I love doing that. Part 3 time. See this major black outline? You see this grid? Now remember the grid that we saw in Plateau Island? This grid is a representation of that. See how these 4 blocks is crater, prison, jungle, plateau, and temple. In each of these colors of underwater observatory, I'm thinking those were linked to those islands. So let us put the only one that didn't have a color was this crater one, and if you don't put it in the right one, it won't work. And if you still kind of mess it up, like I've been doing, say if you had to put this one here, they don't include this color. I don't know why they don't include that color. Is it a reject color? What did it do? Why do they don't like it? Why is it hated? Here it is. Crater, temple, prison, jungle, plateau. And to turn it on is this thing. Now you can see if you got it right or not. Because if you look at this machine up closely, there's this little rod. Wait, let me wait till this thing's done. If you look at the machine that it lowers on, look at this little rod. If you press the button, it shoots up. It vibrates. And that loud boom. I'd do it too. Very loud boom. But now, go back to the room of rotations. To get to you can always easily get back to Ghen's lab by going back the way you came. Look up the code again if you forgot it. But see, we can't get there now. Because actually, all we have to do is lower the bridge. Since it's used its purpose. And here we have this capture device where you have to capture these symbols when the flashes gold like that and press it, but it goes way too fast. So this is what you do to easily catch it. I'm just lucky that thing doesn't have a time limit like, oh, you hit it so many times, can't use it anymore. Limited number of clicks, because that would be very, very annoying. So we have, now we have the code. We just, 24, 22, 16, 6 and 1, 6, 16, 22, and 24. That should. Oh no. No. Gives all the power that we need. So, how much power did that thing generate to power each dome, all 5 domes on this island? Yeah, I had to start kind of look at the guides and recheck myself to make sure I was entering the colors correctly. So this place is called Ghen's 223rd Age. And it's time for some exposition, so... After this, I'm gonna call it apart. This is Gamer Luigi. Get to the... Well, I'm gonna call it apart after this, guys. This is Gamer Luigi. Signing off. Goodbye.
I apologize for the cage. I'm afraid this situation has often required of me a more primitive code of conduct than I might otherwise have chosen. I am Ghen. I assume you've heard of me. Yes. Well, I suspect you have acquired some false information of who I am now. Not that my son would have lied to you about me. No, not Atrus. It's just that, well, I'm sure he believes me to still be the depraved father I once was. Yes. I even tried to kill him once. God, if I had accomplished that, who knows what I would have become. A great father indeed, who tries to murder his own son. Thankfully, he trapped me on age 5, a prison of my own creation. No books, no precious inks, no ages to link to, nothing but my own foolish ambitions. That was 30 years ago. 30 years, 30 lifetimes, what does it matter? No sentence could be too harsh for the man I was. But I have changed. To be sure, the deeds of my past can never be completely atoned for, but my mission was an honorable one. I'm sorry, this is all a bit awkward. It's been a long time since I've attempted to persuade anyone of my intentions. Most of the people here have already made their minds up about me one way or another. I myself do not trust the words of most men, so I don't expect you to believe me. In the end, though, you may discover that I do have more than mere words to offer. Atrus's choice of punishment has been hard on the people of Riven, and many have suffered because of it. The island has been steadily decaying for years, but according to my most recent measurements, it appears that the 5th age has entered its final days. Unless the villagers can be relocated soon, the island will collapse entirely and everyone will perish. It has taken me a long time to do it, but it appears that finally I'll be able to make some substantial amends to my past transgressions, especially in... Well, I'm afraid I've had some trouble with Cathrine and the moiety. In any society, there will always be a small percentage of the population with rebellious tendencies. Before Cathrine appeared, the moiety, as they call themselves, had been relatively harmless. I mean, the natives here are a fairly violent people by nature, but I'd almost come to accept their presence. It seemed inevitable under the circumstances. Upon Cathrine's return, however, their violence intensified considerably. It seems she's become some sort of religious savior to them. And As far as I can tell, she's come to believe this herself. So I've had no alternative. I had to separate her from her people. I must admit, though, that my concerns were not entirely for her safety alone. The actions of Cathrine and the moiety have put my own life at risk on numerous occasions. Consequently, the lives of all the people here. Therefore, I must ask you to refrain from any attempt to free her. Although I'm sure Atrus desires it. Indeed, he must desire it with all his heart. But he is completely unaware of her recent state. Which brings me to the point of all of this. The linking book you brought with you. You're very fortunate to have recovered it. If I may. Thank you. Perhaps it would be best if you went through first.